Good morning, or whatever it is. My name is Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. If you'd like to get one of those decks of your own, just go to lifeskateboard.com and get one. Once again, that's lifeskateboard.com. Well, this is our first live on Wi-Fi. Thank you so much, Sam, for that. Today we're not going to be pressing. We're going to be finishing up the work from yesterday, starting off with this barge here. And then we're going to move on to the rest of the stack. I'm going to take the barge through step by step here, kind of drag you guys through with me, and then we'll get going with the rest of the stack. Don't forget, guys, you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of these of your own. The most annoying tape there is. What's up, guys? Oh, I'm gonna be going through a stack of boards today. No pressing today. Just gonna get this done. This is our first live on Wi-Fi, guys. Thanks for tuning in, Skate family. Thanks for tuning in, Waltz. Thank you, guys. If you're just now tuning in, this is Life Skateboards. My name is Casper Jones, and I handcraft skateboards. Everything you're seeing shaped today was pressed in-house. We're not going to be pressing today. But you can get one of these of your own at lifeskateboard.com. Yeah, this is used to be our widest deck. This shape is called the barge. It used to be our widest deck, and then we made a 15-inch press. So now we can make boards all the way up to 14.6. Why? Because why not? We also make smaller boards for those of you that want something a little more functional. But I will say our concave makes really big boards a lot easier to skate than they seem. If you go to my shorts, you'll see a good shot of a tray flip on a 13.6. I'm going to grab the compressor hose to air up the bladder in here real quick. That one was 11.75, but we do make them up to 14. Sorry if I already answered that. So real quick, since I got some of you here, I'll go ahead and walk you through the process of what happens before we get to these steps. So here at Life, we press everything in-house. So it starts off right over here where we sort the veneer into layups. We glue the boards by hand right here, and then we throw them in the press. They're in the press for a minimum of 24 hours, and then they cure for at least 7 days. Once they're cured, Sam, the boss man, who might bless the chat, who knows, puts the truck holes in right here and attaches one of these templates to that uncut. He then runs the template right along this bearing right here, cuts out the shape, and when I get to it, the edge looks like this. So that edge needs to be at a 90 to the concave. So we bring it over here to the belt, bring it to a 90, round it off, clean it up a little bit more, clean it up some more, and then a final round of sanding and touch up on the orbital over here before graphics are applied. Now, like I said earlier, this is our first live on Wi-Fi. We are going to get a signal booster to get it all the way out to the studio, but today we're not going to go take a trip over to the studio, unfortunately. Here at Life, we apply all of our graphics with hand-carved linoleum blocks, most of which were done by Ben Blakely. Really great artist. It's a great no heat application process. Regardless of the fact that the majority of the industry uses heat transfers, it doesn't make sense to put a board through heat when heat weakens the bond between the glue and the wood. Doesn't matter how easy it is to make the graphic. So we do things a little bit differently around here. Alright, I'm going to get back to shaping and clean this off and get started here. I'm going to be able to answer more questions and stuff when I'm over on the orbital and don't need the respirator on. And you can get one of these at lifeskateboard.com. to the Mac wheel. This is the last step before the orbital, and I'll be able to check the chat. Alrighty, let's get you guys over here. And now it's just a step with the orbital to clean up the edges and remove any excess dust. What's up, Roger? Let's see. No, actually, this is the barge. This is not the XXL pan head. Real quick, there's a few set up here to cut outside the shaping room that I'll compare it to. Hi there, Uki. First of all, I'm just going to let you know, wood's not a good idea for that, and I don't smoke, so. So here is the comparison here. It makes this deck look small. That was for who was asking about the XXL pan head. Good to see you too, Roger. Awesome, Roger. Congratulations. That's a big step. Ooh. So here at Life, we talk a lot about sobriety. And it's awesome to see people come back. Doing great things. Roger has been watching these videos since they were super grainy and not doing very well. So, really awesome to have you come back and update me like that, man. Wow, congratulations, Roger. No, but I think you should buy one of our skateboards. See, as I said before, the majority of the information gets from the orders. As far as the process here, it's maybe missing your top and bottom plies, applying graphics and heat transfers. Here at Life Skateboards, through always instructions, we can create a really good skateboard. Our customers are really happy with it. They last a really long time, and you don't get the deadly dangerous razor shell you get from fiberglass. I'm doing all right, Unknown. This one is an 11.75. It's called the barge. Here at Life Skateboards, we pride ourselves on our options. You can get yourself a 775, you can get yourself a U-stick. You can get boards all the way up to 14.6. I'm sorry. They don't want to hear you. Boards at lifeskateboards.com. Lighter boards take a little longer on this step with more surface area to feed off. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're new to the stream, you're watching Life Skateboards be made. This is the final step before graphics are applied. And I've got a stack of 5 boards right here to take you through the whole process. If you like what you're watching, don't attach the screen for me. Yes, sir. Geez, so we have a veneer supplier that gets Canadian and Great Lakes maple. I think it's more accurate to say Canadian and Great Lakes because some does come from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. However, the reason you want that is you want something with really tight grains. So you want something with slow growth and long winters that produces wood with tight grains. Strong and malleable. Hey, have a good night, Roger. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck at your new job if I don't talk to you next before that. I love this community. I'm getting to know you guys. No, sir. They come in veneer seats. Long, not big. You know it, Brian. Always. Not as much as I intended on doing today. It is a good day. But I got a stack of 5 right here to finish up after I'm done with this. I'm not being too smart here. While this is over here, the phone should probably be plugged in. Weights. Wow, my eyes have been reading that I as an L this entire time. Weights. Weights. I've been calling you Walt, and this is the first time you corrected me. Thank you for that. Weights. Got it. And hey guys, if I pronounce your name wrong or something from the chat, just blame it on ignorance for me. I'd rather respect you and call you what you should be called. How nice for a board? Well, you gotta be real nice and pay the price. Okay. So a popsicle without anything added to it as far as wheel wells or things like that is gonna be $70, and then shapes go up from there. If you guys like to go to lifeskateboard.com and check out everything, that would be pretty rad. I'm doing all right. That's a lot of emojis. I ain't mad at you for it. That's a lot of work you just put into that comment. Yeah, just go to lifeskateboard.com and check out prices. You'll be able to see exactly what you want. There's a few unlisted shapes on there. You go to Life Skateboards 1010 on Instagram. You can see some more. That varies quite a bit, but you can change that number by ordering a Life Skateboard. I don't handle the orders or sales. I just do the shipping. Ah, there we go, son of a gun. That is a great question. That is a great question. So, because you asked that, let me go grab 2 different pieces of veneer so you can understand how this works. Great question, man. So when we glue a skateboard together, you're going to have 7 pieces of maple and 2 different kinds. You're going to have vertical grains and crossbands. So inside your skateboard, you're going to have a really pretty vertical grain on the outside and, on the top and the bottom. So it's going to go face, a core vertical grain, crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. So it alternates to give it strength in every direction, and then the concave itself gives it end-to-end strength. Good question. Great question. I think you just answered your own question, bud. Once again, it varies depending on how many you guys order. So you can always change that number by ordering a board at lifeskateboard.com. Like today I'm doing 7 boards. Hey, Carter! Why, yes, Tia. I actually had this board. Oh, man, you guys are making me go show you everything. I thought this would be fun. I've got to rethread one of the trucks, but a while back I made this where it was half popsicle, half entirely unfinished on the tail. It was really fun to skate, really hard to flip, but obviously skating transition wasn't an issue. Fun one. I called it the half pop. That was just for fun though. I think it was really fun to do. How long does it take to build a board? So it goes in the press for 24 hours and then cures for 7 days, and then the process itself just varies depending on how much I'm talking to you guys and how much glue I got to remove off of this, or how intensive the shape is and things like that. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I like bringing that one around. I put some independent 215s on there. Just for funsies. But I got to reset them. Why, yes it is. Now I will say that these wider boards take a lot longer on this step with more surface area to clean off. Depending on how clean the uncut is. Sorry about that. I am so confused. My cellular data is off. Cellular data is off. Do not disturb is on. How did a phone call come through? That's really weird. Sorry about that, guys. This is our first live on Wi-Fi because I've been trying to eliminate the live jumping around every time I get a phone call. I have no clue nor understanding why phone calls can get through. I mean, it can always do better. We make it surviving in the skateboarding industry. Part of why I do YouTube and supplements, things like that. But yeah, Carter actually has. That's actually what I've been really excited about. I used to do lives on Instagram, and I really didn't like the community that well as far as people hopping on the lives that weren't followers. This has been attracting some really cool people, great conversations, and it's turning into quite a bit of sales. So I found that people enjoy this and enjoy just talking on here, and so I'm really liking doing these live streams. So, son of a gun, I'm going to let you know, knowledge is king. That's why we use Type Bond 2. It's for the strength of the wood and the strength of the bond between the wood and the glue. Speed isn't the most important part of the process here. For a long time, the skateboarding industry has traded quality for quantity, speeding up the process, every bit of it. So here at Life Skateboards, we just don't do that. We don't, like I said, we glue all the boards by hand to make sure that you get full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside your skateboard. Wow, thank you, Patrick. Wow, that's pretty cool. 12 years. Sam started this in 2012. I'm surprised you guys don't know each other. That's awesome, man. Thank you. But yeah, we don't, Sam's figured out since 2012 what kind of glue he likes to use. I like DRI a lot. I don't think it was Walmart boards. He said, I saw him say Quincy earlier. No. Sam Koch, Koch. Quincy. Yeah, actually, I believe Sam's talked about you. Were you making boards for, and just correct me if I'm wrong, were you making boards for Jim Gray? Trying to remember why that name sounds so familiar. This is really cool, running into other board makers. That's what I like about these lives. It's not just like random people hopping on here and just spewing stuff. It's people adding things to it. Do you do repairs on boards? I mean, not really. I mean, our boards, once they're done, they're done. It takes a long time. Wow, congrats. Good job. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I've never really repaired a board. I mean, I've had like my buddy Jesse razor-tailed his popsicle, so I'd run it along the belt sander and reround the tail for him. Then he'd swap the tail for the nose. But the majority of the time at that point, the board's done. So that's awesome, Patrick. Thank you. Thanks for what you do. So now to the final step here. Thank you, man. You know what, Patrick? While you're in here, let me show you some stuff. See another maker's stuff. Here's a bunch of the finished products here. All these graphics are applied with hand-carved lino blocks. Here's our boards that are curing. And here are our presses here. All right, we're going to get to finishing this board here. I've got about an hour before I got to get out of here, so hopefully we can get through this stack. I need to shut up and work. Don't forget, guys, if you like what you're watching, double tap that screen for me. Share it for me. Subscribe and turn on notifications because I do not have a live schedule in any way, shape, or form. I just kind of go live. Thank you, guys. And you can also get one of these of your own at lifeskateboard.com. It's dark! I missed you, dude. Thank you, Sutton. Hi there, Optimistic. I know you may be new to the stream. However, this is connected to a festival vacuum. But thank you, though. A popsicle from us is $70, and then shapes go up from there. So go to lifeskateboard.com and check it out. It's all right, Sutton. I'm glad you're new. Yeah, no, it's okay. This is so I know this just looks like a cheap orbital, and that is true. The reason that we use this cheap DeWalt is because we're putting quite a bit of strain on an orbital the way that you're not really supposed to, but this is the greatest way to clean things up. And then we have it hooked up to a Festool vacuum system right there. Really, really nice vacuum system. But for the rest of the process, besides this right here, and I still usually leave it on because that's such a short step, I do throw the respirator on. I also have to put my hair up before we work, all that fun stuff. And I used to be stubborn until that thing almost killed me once. I think that DeWalt's easily replaceable, that's why. But all right, let's get going with this next stack here. We've got this little football here we're going to get started with, and we're going to drag you guys through all the steps and then back to the orbital again. Thank you, dude. I usually do some still shots, but then my fiance is a great filmer, and so is my buddy Johnny. So quite a bit. I mean, a lot of skaters kind of double as filmers. Thank you, Sutton. I appreciate you. Thank you, John. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love to hear that. Next step is just cleaning up. That's pretty rad, Christian. We've traded some veneer with guitar makers. I think guitar making and that sort of thing is really cool. You can. You go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of your own. This is one of the footballs. No, this is a skateboard. All right. So this last step here, and sorry I'm not responding to stuff in between these steps here. I'm just trying to get this stack done before I gotta leave. That is our XXL pan head. If you go to Life Skateboard 1010 on Instagram, we have to update the website with the new ones, but we actually have an XXXL pan head, XXXL pan head, and another X. I'm not going to count them. Thank you, Sweaty. I appreciate you. We won you over. What's the thickest board we've made? Probably like a 9-ply. Not entirely intentional. Oh, it was very thick. The first one I did was an accident, I'll say that. Oops, 9 plies. Get some of this heavier glue off of here. That makes me feel really good. I wonder how Bob Ross would have done if he had a cat. You know what I mean? Like if he just talked to you guys. You know it. Yeah, I mean, some of our really cool shapes were accidents. Like, some of the snub noses, stuff like that. You know, the first board I shaped probably shouldn't have been the blue one. I bet he was. I bet so. I bet him and Robbie would have gotten along really well. Could probably close the 20. Oops. There are a bunch of apps open on my I forgot about that. Yeah. Sam, this is Sam, guys. Hey, Sam, somebody from Quincy Manufacturing was in here earlier. That was pretty cool. I forgot about that. Bob Ross is from Muncie. There we go. There we go, Patrick. He is. He's a smart feller and a fart smeller. That's true. I tripped on a shelf. All right, so the next shape is fun. So this is my new signature shape that I designed. I toned down my other shape to fit it on the standard press. Took my funky nose and turned it into a knuckle nose. And took my fishtail and rounded it off on a 9-inch popsicle. I'm really liking the shape. Really liking the concave. And if you go to lifeskateboard.com right now and go to the signature section, you're going to see this shape under Casper signature. But you're going to get this. And I need to double check with Sam on how many of the limited run are left. But those ones that were ordered last week will be out to this week. It really varies, bud. Calvin, you can bump those numbers up by going to lifeskateboard.com and getting a life. That glue off of there I can. And remember guys, if you like what you're watching, double tap the screen for me. Thank you. Clean a little chunk of glue on there. Thank you, Brian. So popsicles are $79. I'm sorry, popsicles are $70, and shapes go up from there. This will be $99. Hey, buddy, what's up? I'm not gonna doubt if you got a Monty deck. I think that's pretty cool. I got a buddy over in Akron, Ohio that collects the BBC decks. That's pretty cool. Yes, sir. You can make it cooler by going to lifeskateboard.com and getting one of your own. Did I miss something? I don't know why somebody told you you were lying. Over your work collection. What's up, Neil? Thanks for tuning in. Definitely. Yeah, some of them definitely are. Do they ever repop those? What's up, Hunter? Well, I've got to leave in 30 minutes here. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off the live here and make a phone call. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner. I might be a pirate. Sorry. Yeah, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I'm sorry about that. All right. Yep. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Have a good night, guys.